Most people are forced by circumstance to work their entire lives, at least until retirement age. And they dream about vacation, about the weekend, about getting away from work, about finishing their work, going home, having a rest, having a good weekend, taking a long vacation. And there's nothing wrong with these things. But if you carry it to the extreme, where inactivity is the goal, where being inactive, not working, retired is the goal, then you end up in a absurd situation where you don't have to do anything or you have nothing to do, and eventually you get bored with doing nothing. So if you're one of the privileged few in life that can take an endless vacation for months or years, a sabbatical, or you can afford to retire early, it would help if you could consider what you're going to do once you get bored. Very often, what happens is after a while, you start to get bored and you begin to indulge in physical enjoyments to a point where either you're making yourself physically sick from either overeating or drinking too much or doing drugs or whatever it may be, but to a point where you basically destroy yourself. So while you are still active, still working, pre-retirement, it would be helpful to think about what you're going to do once boredom sets in. How are you going to deal with the feeling of not participating, not contributing to the world at large? And if you carefully consider it, you might decide that rather than completely getting away from work, maybe what you need is a more manageable work schedule. So maybe you only work a few hours a day, or you only work a few days a week, whatever it may be. But the purpose of work in that situation is not so much to bring in income, but rather it's to maintain yourself, your sense of self in society as a contributing member of society, as someone who is part of the community and someone who has purpose in their life. By remaining active, you keep a sense of meaning and purpose. You have something to do. You have people to see. There's challenges to face, as opposed to simply giving up work completely and totally retiring and then facing the boredom that inevitably comes after some period of time. So it's helpful to consider this before retirement. And if you've already retired, consider taking up some activity, some work, whether it's salaried work or volunteer work or hobby or whatever it may be, to try and maintain that sense of discipline in your life. So you have to get up by a certain time. You have to go out and get yourself ready for the day. Inactivity is the precursor to decay and death. Remaining inactive, especially if you become indulgent, inevitably leads to a loss of purpose in living, and the decay of your body, your physical body. So it would be helpful to you to consider this when you dream of early retirement, when you dream of vacations. Think about what it means. Yes, a vacation can help you reset, a vacation can help you improve your well being, but don't let it become an obsession. Don't let it pull you away from your sense of purpose in life.